Binod Suman Academy channel 2. So this is the second video on the Python pandas. In the first video we saw how the data series and what is the data frame, how we can different way to create the data frame and the data series, what is the difference between them. And now we are going to see, if you have the two data frame, what are the different way to concatenate, append, merge, different type of merge. We will see that. So for that, let us start the code. And these are the pandas. What is the benefit of the pandas and the good things of the pandas? We can do a lot of things, right? So first and foremost, import pandas. And let me show you which pandas version I do use. So it's 0.25. So first we will create some data frame, and I have already explained how to create a data frame in previous video. So this is my data frame. Now if you see, we have the data frame one. They have the two columns. And the last video I forgot to mention one thing, how to do some kind of addition and the broadcasting addition. So suppose if I add 5, so which row and column this 5 is going to add? So this is the magic here. It will add the 5 to all the row and columns. You can see it has been add, 5 has been add. So this is the property of the data frame what provided by pandas. And we can do the same thing with the add method also. You can pass, so you will get the same result. And suppose if you have the two data frame, suppose data frame 1, data frame 2, you can add, it will also add, because both have the same column name, so it is going to add that. And the same thing, if you as I told you, we can use the add method for doing the same thing. So suppose I have another data frame, let me show something different, 99, and it has the one column, right? Now let me add this into the two column. So df has the two column and df99 has the one column, right? This is the index, actually this is the number. How it work? Two column with the one column. So you can see the result. What happened? The first column 2 4 6 8 9, it add the 1 2 3 4 5, but as df99 was not having the second column, so it says I can't able to add it, right? So now let us start our first code for the concatenate. So suppose I have this data frame, this is the column we have already discussed in previous video, and I would recommend please watch the previous video to get the complete idea what is going to happen in this video. So I have the ABCD 4 column and the 4 index, and this is the data. So if I want to show the data, this is the data, right? And let me take one more data, B data, df2 data. Once we have, then we can show how to concatenate happen. But here you can see we have the same column, ABCD, only the index number is different, right? Now let us do the concatenate. So if I do df or pd dot concate, and we can have to pass df1 comma df2 and see the result. What happened? As the column matching ABCD, so they here up to here, this is the first df1 and remaining is the df2. So this is the way we can concatenate, right? Let me show if the index does match, means take some different and here the index is match, means what I want to show, if you take the df, we have the index 3, and df9 we have the index 3, both has the common index. Now if we do the concatenate with df1 and the df9, how it looks. So you can see it is the coming the two times. So this one part for the df1 and this one part for the df9. So don't think that it will be the do some different behavior. It will be the do as it is working, right? So now I have one question. So suppose let me copy this part into some variable. I will say data set 1, okay, and I want to show this is the same data set 1, okay. Now I have one question for you. If I say data set 1 dot log 2 dot colon 4, I have already explained in the previous video. Tell me first what answer would be there. So log is means the indexing, right? So it will start from 2 indexing and it will go the 4 including the 4. So output the index would be the 2 3 3 4, means from here to here, right? Now the same thing if I want to do the ILOC data set 1, then ILOC if I do, and I want to it bit change 2 to 5, what would be there? So it will do the counting. Counting means from the 2 count 3 column, 3 rows, right? 2 3 4 till 5. So it will come from 2 to this one. This output should be there. So let us see, this output is there. So should not be any confusion. Now let me create another data frame df3. Then we will do the something different. Now we have the another data frame. Now first, before going to execute anything, let me show all the data frame to you in one shot, d1 d2 d3. So all has the same column abcd. They have the index 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 0 1 2 3. Now we are going to concatenate all the 3. So when you do the concatenate, what happens? That this part is for the data 1, data frame 1, this part is the data frame 2, and index is repeating because the data frame 3 is the same index. But if you see here, we have the confusion. Our index is repeating, okay, because they maintain the same index what the original data frame has. I don't want. I want to create the new index starting from 0. So you have to use this parameter. Ignore index. I want to ignore the existing index and I want to create the new. Now you can see there is no any problem. We got the new index from 0 to 11. So when you join or concatenate, take care for these things. So it will help you to maintain the indexing. Now we can maintain the hierarchical indexing. What do you mean? This is my data frame. We are going to concatenate and make the key XYZ. I'm going to show what is happening here. So you can see that for this 0 1 2 4, it was from the X D1, right? D1 was the 0 1 2 3. So this is the complete X. This part is from the Y, this part from the Z. So you can see that we have the hierarchical index here. So we can do that. Now if I use the here this, what is output? Can you guess it? So now let me explain you. So I want to, this is my data set. I want to log from for the X. So I define the scope only to here, and I want the index 1. So is index 1 is there? Yes, index 1 is there. This will, it will return the A1, B1, C1, D1. But if I use the X 4, it will give the error because 4 does not exist inside the X, right? So let me show this one. You can see output got X, A1, B1, C1. Let me show and execute the 4. You will get the error. Because why? Because one index is does not there for the X, right? Now the same way, if I want to in Y, this will also give the error because in Y1 is not there, right? But Y6 is there. Just put the 6, you can get the output. So this is the way we can use the log ILOC for the multiple hierarchical index. And if you want to get the data set only for the x and y, you can do in that way, y and z. It will not show the x, it will show the y and z, right? Now let me do what we did so far. All the data set has the same column A, B, C, D. Now let me take one example that is a different column. I have the B, C, D, right? So we have the B, C, D. If you do that, we have the B, C, D. Now, and let me show the df1 also for your reference. So df1 has the abcd and df4 has the bdf. Okay, now I want to concatenate both. What will happen? And I'm going to axis 1. I will tell you why I am going to use the axis 1. So what happened? It concatenate on the column wise, right? So A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D from the DF1 and BDF from the DF4. And you can see for the BDF, we don't have any data for the DF1. DF1, we don't have the BDF. So they have the null data. But for the 2 and 3, as these two index exist in both 2 3 2 3, so you can say for the 2 3 we have the complete data, right, for all the column. And again 6 7, what happened? 6 7, this data does not have 6 7, this data has the 6 7. So for the df1 they put the null, and for this the bdf df4 they put the data. So this is the way to do that. Now question is asking, if I do the axis 0, what will happen? An interesting thing is that default value is axis 0. So now what they done, all the common column they put it here. So A, B, C, D was there from the DF1, for the DF1, and DF4 was the BDF. So now see B is repeating, and on top of that, if you see, F was not there in for the DF1, so they put the null. And for the DF4, this A and C was not there, so you can see A and C has the null, right? So this is the way it work. Now let me do one thing. I want the concatenate only on joining, the common joining of the index. So both having the 2 and 3, right? So if you see, this also has the 2 and 3, this also has the 2 and 3. So when you do the inner join like the database join, based upon the key, you can see there is no null. Whatever the matching index, only for those we can getting the data. Now if I do the join is the outer join. So you might be knowing from the database concept what is the inner join, what is the outer join. Let me explain me again what is outer join. So outer join says you repeat it A, B, C, D, B, D, F, okay, and this is the same data, right, what we got earlier. If you see the same output, this output and this output, axis 1 was the same output, for the because outer is the default value, so that's why here also you got the same. But how the outer works, abcd from the df1, bdf from the df4, and it shows all the data with the having the null value where it is not applicable, right? That's why it works. Now let me show the same thing with the axis 0, with the outer only axis 0. There are many permutation combination you can do, you experiment. So if you see, this is the what we got earlier, right? Either combine that. Now let me show the, we saw what is the concatenate. Let me see the append. So what is the difference between concatenate and append? So concatenate has the many flexibility, right, to add all the rows, row wise, column wise. Append is a shortcut for the same, the axis 0 and the join is outer. So it is the same, but this is the kind of shortcut. So let me put it here. So append is shortcut to the concatenate with the default values axis 0 and the join is the outer. So let me, at least we can see with one example, df1 df2, right? So now what I will do, I will do the df1 dot append, this time not concatenate, append, and df2. So same thing, we have already seen that, but this time we don't have any option to change the axis and the join. That is the fixed axis and the join for the append. Most useful is there. Now let me show the merge. Merge is very good, the way for concatenating or joining to one. Let me show why. So what happen in the merge, we have the flexibility to all the left, right, inner join, the way we do the same with the database. So how it works, let me show one example. So suppose I have the one, left, I have two data set, two data frame, okay, and they have the different column name also. Let me show the first two data set. So I have one left and right, okay. Now if I do the merge, when I do the merge, you have noticed that we have the three column. One is the key AB and key CD. So both data frame left and right, we have the key is the common, key column is the common, right? So I want to merge on the basis of the key. So now you can see that now key was the key 0, key 0. So they put the data. So they take all the data for the k0 and the k0 from here to here. The same they did for the k1, k2, k3. So it was a so easy example we did that. Now let me take the 2 key and then let me show the example. If you take the 2 key, then how it works. And here also, before that, let me do something more experiment here. So suppose I take this and put on how, means I want to do that on the basis of inner join. Inner join means when this is the same thing what we have on the basis of these things. Now let me do the same thing on the outer join. So why it is giving the inner join, outer join? Because both the key are matching, right? And suppose if you take the, or you do the little bit more experiment with the changing the data, then we can get some key values. If you have some example for that, I can show you. Okay, not a problem. So, and if you do the outer is giving, let me change the some data. So instead of the k0, k1 with the same thing, and this time change the 4 or 5. Okay, now our key has changed, right? Now you do on that. So now you can say when you do the k, only the matching index it is working, right? Now if you do the inner we give the same one, but now if you do the outer will be having the different. So what outer is doing here, outer is doing that. So if you outer is doing means first what are the matching is matching, what is not matching 0 1 is matching, so no problem. If it is not matching, they using the null value here, right? So outer means it will take the complete thing with the null value, it is not matching. Now you can say the wrapped join and right join. So you can use all the options here, wrapped, right, or the joins. So now if you do the wrapped, so what is happening in the wrapped means it will take the data of the 2 3, right, 2 3 sorry, you take the data for the, here if you see what I'm saying, this is the K4 K5, right, the key is there, K4 K5. Now if you see here, so K4 K5 is in the right side, left side is the 2 3, that is not matching. So when you do the wrapped, it will show the wrapped data key which is not matching with the right side, that will show, they will also show that. This is a database concept. And if you do the right list, it is showing the K4 and 5, right. Now let me show you with the some big data. Suppose if you have the multiple keys, how it works. So in the multiple key, if you see, we have the two key 1, key 2. Then how you will do work. So this is the two key. Now if you want to do the inner join, outer join, so how we can do the multiple things, you can see that we can do the key, you can put the key and array in all the, or give all those things, right. So this is how we work. And here you can put a change everything, instead of the inner you can use the outer, and do all the experiment how you can do that, right. So you can now understand and do some practice, you can understand how it will work, right. Thank you very much. We will, I would recommend please continue watch all the pandas videos, and you will get the better idea for that. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you. Bye.